All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahakakadash. Double honors to the hopeful elect, all right, who rule, who out here risking their lives to preach this gospel, man. We so love, and you Akwath is out here being blessed, whatever Yahweh Shah may find your hands to do. All right, shalom. All right, man. I was watching a video Elder Apostle Gabar put up. I seen it yesterday, and like 2 days ago, I had just watched a video from I'm gonna call her a sister because she's not an Israelite, but she's an Israelite, but she's of she's of the Muslim faith. Okay, her name is Rashaza. I'm not probably pronouncing it wrong. Rashaza Ali. She's the author of a book called the the black man's guide to understanding the black woman. Okay, I ran across the video maybe a week ago, and I got a chance to watch it to its entirety a few days ago, and then I ran across Elder Apostle Gabar's video, and basically it was the book it's just on point. I'm actually trying to get it, but it brought me to this verse in Proverbs, man. Proverbs 31. Okay, because a lot of women, so-called Christian, and women of some type of faith, man, they all love to run to this verse. All right, and this is very hard for women to get, because in our faith, being a Hebrew Israelite, it's not a religion, but it's our lifestyle, and it's hard for our women to grasp and come back to this. Okay, but because without that, this here, Proverbs 31:10 is impossible. Okay, you can't even begin to be a virtuous woman, man, until it's gonna take a lot of time. I don't think in this lifetime, man. Matter of fact, let me get that in Ecclesiastes. Because I don't think it's possible, just for the simple fact of what this scripture says. This is Ecclesiastes 7:27. He said, "Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet." Let me put this airplane mode on, man, before somebody called me. Okay, behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I found not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but of women among all those have I not found. Okay, so Ecclesiastes was a prophet, man. And he didn't find a righteous woman. Okay? Now, not to say that there wasn't any righteous women, but back in the scriptures in ancient times, the women were righteous because that's all they knew. They knew that's their lifestyle was different, man. But through the modernization of Esau's technology and she saw women liberation movement, and slavery has really greatly damaged the black woman. All right, and I say that to say that just like it did us, it did with the black men. But when we found out about this truth, man, and came to our came back to the realization that who we were, certain men being in this thing, man, for years and years, it's a building project, man. Okay, you have to work on yourself day in and day out, man, week in, week out, um, tearing down those strongholds, man. You know, because the scripture says what, man? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, man, through principalities, man, and principalities and how. Matter of fact, I just gotta get it because I'm mangling it. Let me get it. See. Um, okay, this is Ephesians 6:12. All right, he said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness." Okay, and that's Esau. That's the devil, man, that the Bible speaks of. Okay, and this it takes years to decipher through all of that bullshit that he's put into our psyche, man, into our spirit. All right, but once we shed off all of that and come back into our nationality, our realization of who we are, then those things start to tear down, man. You know, it takes years, or it takes practice, man. You know, he said, "For against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Okay, and how's this spiritual wickedness, man? Is because all of his philosophies. With Eve, it started in the garden, man. You know, I watched pertaining back to Apostle Gabar's video. Eve got that philosophy from the serpent. You know, it's been ongoing since then, man. Just like he showed Yahweh Shai all of the kingdoms when he showed him. He said, "All this I give you." You think he showed him? The kingdoms just in that day? No, man. He showed him up to date. He zoomed forward to this kingdom right here. He was at, "All this I give you." You know, he showed him in real time this kingdom right here. And Yahweh Shai, what? He rebuked him, man. Because he understood what this was, man. He did Eve the same way. He's like, "Look, man, look, this is gonna be all yours." He showed her all of the long hair, the jewelry, how things was gonna be, and she was probably fascinated with that, and she took it and ran with it, man. And that same philosophy is in her spirit, man. And so it's gonna take a lot to tear that out, to tear that down, man. To get back to it takes a lot to get back to where we once were, man. You know. So with that, I want to go back to that Proverbs, man, because you know every woman. I understand woman wants to be a virtuous woman, which is a good thing, you know. But everyone's not going to be it. Just like it's not going to be everyone is not the elect. All right, but I'm gonna start off with this is Proverbs 31:10. He said, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth satisfy safely trust in her." All right, so hey, that's for a man, and I'm not gonna say it's brothers out here that's married, you know, this in this truth, you know, and they've been with their women, and your woman is a part of you. So the more that brother grows in this truth, the more his wife is gonna take on that attributes, because your woman actually starts to be becoming part of you. Now they still might get him hell, man, but you know what? The more he grows in that truth, man, she's gonna, man, the spirit is gonna rub off on her. You know, it's that wickedness is coming. It's peeling away. It's like an onion, man. You peel away those layers, man. I'm not gonna say an onion, but what can I say? Something that Well, I can't say an onion. You ever had an onion? I don't know how many of you brothers cook, but you had an onion, it's sitting, it's sit up, because you don't have to actually store onions in the refrigerator. Matter of fact, storing them in the refrigerator, they go bad quicker. So you could just set an onion up, and you take an onion so long. Or matter of fact, I say garlic. If you brothers cook and you have some garlic, a pulp of garlic, and it'll sit there and it'll develop that skin. It gets bad from the outside in, and to get down to the pulp, you have to peel away all these layers, and you might have a little piece in the middle that's still good, and then all other layers you got to disregard. You know, so you have to peel off all of those layers, man, of wickedness and stuff that's been in our spirit, man. All right, so that's the only way that, like I said, because these women are not gonna make it with. If any women make it without the Lord, without a man, hey, I don't see that. I believe the women that's in this thing, man, some type of way, man, Yahweh Shah is going to put them with a man of the Lord, and even through the times that we go in through Jacob's trouble, they're gonna cross each other's paths in some type of way, man, because you're gonna need protection from a man. All right, and your name alone, female, means faithless. All right, and woman means servant. So servant to who? To her husband. All right. I'm gonna go into this video. I'm gonna hit on a few. I'm gonna let the sister go into a little bit of it. I'm gonna just go into a little bit of her video. Oh wow. That's crazy. I gotta study, take off my airplane mode. I'm still learning this technology, man. It's crazy. Okay.
Comics of it.
I'm a hit. Shahrazad. Okay, Shahrazad Ali. Yeah, you brothers probably seen this. Matter of fact, I think the brother Dimash probably sent me her video, or I asked one of them. It was just a clip though, and I had just been watching. I would see that clip all the time, but some type of way it ran across my feed, and I got to actually see her interview about this book. So I'm gonna just share this with y'all.
The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman has been out for, what, over a year now?
March the 20th will be the first year anniversary. And unfortunately, as I say, since money has been used as the measure, many times if a black man does not have money to give us, we won't even let him see his children. We won't let him spend any time with it because he does not give us whatever the child support is. And I'm not saying that we don't need money to raise a child, but I try to explain to black women that raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of the father and the mother to put the proper values into the child. Many of our boys, when we raise them alone, they grow up with the female emotional mechanism. They are suspicious, they are doubtful, they're disrespectful of womanhood, they are bitchy, they can't make a decision. And many of our girls who grew up in a home where there's no man present, they go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have any idea how to live with a man day to day, how to prepare a proper meal, how to be a mother, how to just be in love in the home. Most of what our people and our children especially have learned about how you have a relationship, they learned off of television.
Okay, with that said, I want to go to we go to 1 Peter 2 and go to 1 Peter 3. No, it's like it. Titus 2 and 3. All right. This is Titus 2 and 3. He said, and the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the younger woman to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the power be not blasphemed. Okay, so basically that's what this sister's book is hitting on, man. That's not the point that I wanted right there, but it's getting to where I want it, the point I want. And I got a few more scriptures to hit. Hold on.
And television doesn't represent our needs. And so a lot of the confusion has come, from outside agencies that we have not recognized just how detrimental it has been to us as a people.
Can I play devil's advocate for just a
Well,
moment?
I wish you wouldn't, but I know you must. Go on.
What if I am a good wife? His home is clean. His kids are fed. I'm making sure they're well educated. I help them with their homework. I'm a good lover in bed. I help him with the finances, and I say, look at that. He still took a walk.
Well, that's something else that's been confused about my book. I advise black men and black women. I certainly tell men that if you are with a woman who you have been with for 5, 10, 15, 20...
She's going off in this part, but, hey, like I said, because a man don't supposed to leave his woman. I mean, a woman don't supposed to leave a man.
Years, 6 months, 2 weeks, whatever it is, and that woman refuses to cooperate with your ideas, does not want to get with your program of right, whatever it is, then I tell those men, get rid of that woman and get another one. And I tell black women the same thing. If you are with a man that you cannot be in agreement with, then get rid of him and get with the man that you can be in agreement with. If the man you're with is not treating you the way...
Yeah, and that's not how it's supposed to go. If you with a man, because the scripture says a believing wife, is a believing wife, a husband is saved through. Just like it. Let me get it, man. I'll be mangling everything. It's like it. He said, 1 Corinthians 7:14, he said, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. All right. And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else, where your children unclean be, now are they holy. All right. So this is just to debunk what she just said, man. Because like I said, we can't go by what she's saying verbatim, because she's not of the faith. But like I said, she's a Muslim. But the book hits a lot of key points, man. All right, keep going.
That you want him to, and you feel that you have put in enough time to demonstrate your commitment and your sincerity of efforts to try to make the relationship work. I don't tell people to just stay in that relationship. I'm trying to teach us that we waste a lot of time being angry with each other and being dissatisfied in relationships. Get out of it and get with one where you can be happy.
You say that the black woman would like to be a clone of the white woman.
Many of us, yes. That's unfortunate.
How do you see that?
Well, that's something that was almost accidental, I'd have to say. See, the white woman has been the only mentor that we have had of a female. We've seen her every day of our life on television, every magazine, every newspaper, every commercial. It's just been her face, her body, her image, whatever it has been in front of us. And so today we have the results of that. We have black women who are trying to dye their hair blonde, who are wearing blue and green contacts in their eyes, who wear tons and tons of layers of makeup, who have changed their voice, who have hair weaves so they can have flowing long hair blowing in the wind, like Brooke Shields or somebody, And so that's been an accident. And as a result of us doing that, we have also adopted the women's liberation movement goals of wanting to be liberated from the man and have some kind of pseudo-equality. When while that may be true of the white woman and her plight with the white man, that's not really the black woman's business, because we haven't been under the control of the black man for over 500 years. So what do we have to be liberated from him from?
John, and that there was part of that philosophy that the devil gave her in the garden. That was part of that, because our women have joined themselves with the plight of Esau's woman, which she saw, because like I said, she's the counterpart of him. All right, his woman would be just like our women supposed to be counterparts of, because Israelite women didn't think like the heathen nations. Matter of fact, hold on. Like, okay, this is Exodus 1:19. He said, and the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered. The midwives came in unto them. All right, because our women didn't think as the heathen women, Egyptian women. They didn't have the same interest, man. They didn't have because our faiths were different, But through the evolving of times, man, our women more or less started adopting the ways of Esau, all right, through the philosophy that Esau gave to Eve, all right, because you know what, I went into a store one time with my woman, and I'm standing right next to my woman. As soon as the Edomite came over there, bro, he addressed my woman before he went. I'm looking at this motherfucker like, motherfucker. And he's because he's intimidated by you, first of all. My father used to always tell me that. He said, you talking to a white man, look him dead in his eye. That's why they used to always back in Jim Crow's days, they didn't want a black man. You supposed to look at the ground. He didn't want you to look him eye to eye, and that was the reason why, man, because he's basically intimidated at you, Let me keep going.
Is there something wrong with trying to make yourself look better or more appealing?
It depends on what standard you're using as being the goal of looking better. If we think to look better is to put on a ton of makeup and have blue eyes, then there's something wrong with that. But if we think that to look better is to certainly get a better spirit in our heart and to work every day to become a better wife, a better mother, better friend, better sister, then those values and attributes alone will make us more beautiful than we are now.
How do you feel about the fact that many people accuse you of wanting to see the black woman at a point of submission? Is that where you want to see a black woman in the 1990s?
Well, it depends on how you define submission. Those words have a tendency to have a negative connotation for us because of how they were used against us during slavery and what we connect them to. But actually, the kind of submission that I'm referring to just means cooperation and agreement. I don't think that anybody could say that I represent a woman who is subjugated in any kind of way. I don't think that anybody could say that my personality sounds like some man. Does not mean that we don't practice some aberrant behaviors that end up infecting our homes and breaking up our relationships with our men and helping to hold him down. That's all I'm saying. So everyone balance our self-esteem, our self-respect, everything that we stand about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one-night stands and running around rampant. They produce a lot of the anger and frustration we have at each other is really not even at each other. It's about our conditions. It's about something that's almost been genetically sent down through our womb because our men were not able to protect us. They were not able to keep the slave master from snatching our babies out of our womb, to allow us to have food or clothing. A lot of different kinds of things that happen to us that just make us tremble. They make us frightened. And so now it's to a point where everything that the man does, we have our total emotional balance, our self-esteem, our self-respect, everything that we stand for as a female, we have it tied right now to our men's genitals, and it depends on what he does with those about whether or not
let's talk about that for just a moment.
See, this is an intense topic.
Yes,
I just never get a chance to explain
One thing that I read over and over again in your book regarding infidelity. And let me just make this here. You say in your book, there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman and never desiring to have another. Before slavery, during slavery, or after slavery. The black man has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right. Well, I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman. Neither have white men. This is just what they do. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one-night stands and running around rampant with other women. That's not the kinds of, when I say more than one woman relationship. Mm-hmm. I mean that before we came to America, our men had more than one wife and family. And we were satisfied with it because we had not met the monogamy idea. We had not met the American white woman who, insists on certain kinds of values in her man. We had not learned envy and jealousy. All right. After coming here, those kinds of ideas were bred into us because of society and the mores that the Americans made up here. And so then we started to have problems with that. But I think that since it is apparent that most of them, not all of them, it's certainly up to the man, do love more than one woman. I got tons of mail. A lot of black men write and tell me that they have had two women for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and they can't even get the women to speak to each other. Sometimes they have two families,
would I want
two sets of children.
Would I want to talk to a woman who's sharing perhaps the bed and the money and the social life with who I would deem as my man?
If you want to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that robs you of something, you would want to know them. If he loves her, you certainly should want to know her.
There are a lot of black women out there who say,
I know they're mad about that idea. I understand,
that would never hold water.
Wait a minute, that's not easy. And that's a frightening thought to most of us. And I don't like that. I'm not for that. I'm in agreement with everybody else. Our men ought to just have one woman. But that is not the reality. I'm trying to get us to deal with some reality for a change. Stop dealing with fantasy. Stop dealing with television. Stop dealing with imagination of how we wish things were. Let's deal with them how they are, what it is, present tense. And
but because that's happening doesn't mean I have to like that or want to accept that.
No, that means that you can live in hell. That means you can live in doubt. That means that you can always be checking on your man. That means that you can be insecure and be, tearful. And that means you can be disappointed when you find out the real truth. And you don't want to have that in your life. None of us do. But in order not to have that, then we have to deal with some reality and recognize that men are not limited in the way that women are. Men are able to love more than one woman. I'm not talking about, as I said, just a random sexual relationship of fornication and adultery and all of that. I mean that there are many black men who have children by more than one woman. What is to become of those children? They need their father.
Okay. Yeah, let me go to another point because she kind of goes off on some points, man. Like I said, but she's not in the truth, so we can't can't trip about that. Okay, this is 1 Peter 3. I'm going to start at 1. Okay, he said, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection. Okay, and you heard her earlier say, that's like a taboo word. And that is, because like I said, back to that philosophy, man. The white woman don't want it, and partially she wants to be with a man, but she wants to still do what she wants to do. That subjection is a tough word, man. Women don't want to. Eve don't want to be in subjection, man. All right. Be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold the chaste conversation, coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adoring of plaiting the hair and wearing of gold, or of putting on apparel. All right, so and that's Jake woman, man. All day. But she learned that from where? She learned that from Esau. She saw. Okay, like we don't mind our women dressing up. Don't get it twisted. Women are supposed to be adorned. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women in these times now do a lot of things because what they want to do. I've even experienced with my girl. She would baby, you like my hair, like yeah, I learned to be kind of sarcastic. Well, not sarcastic, but I be kind of wise now. I say, well, you want me to give you my honest answer, or just a husband answer? And she's like, what? I want Joe honest answer. I said, okay, well, my honest answer, no, I don't like it. I said, now my husband answer, yeah, baby, I love it. Because why? Because most women can't handle the truth. And if you go do something to your hair, I think you should. I think me myself, a woman should ask her, man, baby, I'm gonna get my hair cut, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. At least let me know. Don't come in here with, But these women, no, man, they will go. These women now go to the beauty shop or whatever, man, and go tint their hair purple and just come home and expect you to like it. They don't consult. They don't consult and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is why everything is in an uproar, man. But like I said, this is it's neither here nor there. I'm not. This is not no tutorial video or how to keep your how to woman to get a man, or what. Basically, it's just I ran across this video and the information was good information, and that book was out actually in the 90s. Her book came out in the 90s, and it's so prevalent, and it was before its time because we wasn't even out teaching. Well, yeah, the apostles were. They were out teaching, but this thing wasn't widespread. But the backlash came because it's a woman putting out information on women, and she said she had a lot of opposition from this book, man. So verse 4, he said, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in which is not corruptible, even the ornament of meekness, of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the power of great price. For after this manner in the old times the holy women also, who trusted in the power, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Why? Because they loved the Lord, and they wanted to please they wanted the things pleasing to the Lord, and their husbands love the Lord. See, a woman's supposed to love what you love. If you love the Lord, then she's gonna in turn love you and the Lord. Just like the children. Your kids gonna love your kids. See you loving your wife, they're gonna grow up to want the same things, and that's what the sister was breaking down in that book. All right, even Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, and that's who Eve is, man. Eve is basically the sons of Sarah. I mean, it's like Eve is the daughter of Sarah, and they have when Esau, when the devil gave her that philosophy, she took up on that philosophy, man, and then what followed? Esau. Okay, she took his philosophy, and Esau's woman is going what be a part of him, the other counterpart of him. So what? Our women gravitated to her, just like she had said, she's the first one she's met. She don't know. Our women don't know Sarah. How are they going to learn about Sarah? Through their husband. All right, a woman can't just grab this Bible and pick it up and read it and understand it. No, man. People, men of the Lord can't just grab the Bible, and pick it up and read it and understand it. No, you have to be taught through teachers, man, through the prophets, man. The men of the Lord is out there sighing and crying on the highways and byways, who at home studying. Your woman see you studying, guess what? It's going to make her love you even more. Oh, man, my husband really love the Lord. But do we get that? No, man. They actually get jealous of us seeing the relationship with us and the Lord and us and the brothers. They get jealous and get pissed off, man. Because the spirit in them is not right. Okay, so he said, calling, yeah, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well. You're only the daughters of Sarah if you do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. Okay. Yeah, man. So you brothers try. You know, I experienced this with my chick, man. Chick I was hollering at. She had called me something. She called me something, and I said, "Don't call me that." And she was like, "Well, what you want me to call you?" And I told her, "Call me Lord." And she looked with this straight face, like, "I ain't calling you that," you know. And I was like, "Wow, you know, you want to call me something else?" But then you asked me what I want her to call me, and if I would have said anything else, she would have been in agreement with it. See, they don't want to be in agreement with this word, this truth, man. It's just a spirit that's in him, that spirit that was planted in them from the garden, man. You know. So I think that's it. Let me see.
Now, you say that once these relationships don't work, and they start breaking up or things start going bad at home, you say, she will cry and seek sympathy. During this period, the black woman will remind the black man of everything she has ever done for him.
Yeah, we do that.
She will try to make him feel guilty and ashamed of his decidedly outrageous behavior.
Absolutely.
She'll let the house go, and I quote you, to hell.
That's right.
She may stop cleaning, ironing, washing, and cooking.
And we
neglect
withhold
his place.
sex. That's a real tool we use.
Wow.
We do that.
But if
To
you would
express
cheat
our
on me
dissatisfaction.
or walk out
Well,
on me...
see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and if this is what he thinks his responsibility is, then what kind of hell are you going to go through to prevent that? Since we cannot stop him, we have not been successful. The white woman has not been successful in stopping the white man from having another woman. They call them a mistress. We pick up a lot of that terminology. But a man who has 2 women, that's not necessarily a mistress. That's just his other woman. Now, we got 2 choices. We can be the woman or the other woman. We don't have but those 2. Now, I know we don't like that. I don't like that. You know, but that's the reality of our life at some point. Now, it's up to the man. But every man doesn't want 2 women, but those that do, they're going to do it.
What about our morals and our religion?
Whose religion? Whose morals? Not our religion, because we're not practicing the religion of black people anymore. That was taken from us. We don't have our morals anymore. That was taken from us. So whose idea are you representing when you stand up for those values? Not ours.
Right. Not ours. And how will she learn that? She's only going to learn that through a man of the Lord, man. You know, these Christian churches is not teaching that, and that goes back to your nationality, man. This is not a religion. This is Christianity is a religion. That's why nothing changes in there. You go in there and get a good sermon or whatever, man. Walk out the same way, man. As soon as that sermon wears off you, it's like a protectant. As soon as it wears off you, man, it's no good, you know. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, through this word, man, that gets in your inner man and washes you inside and cleans you inside throughout, then you're changed, man. Once you learn your nationality, once these women learn who they are, they won't have no. First of all, the spirit of selfishness has been put up on them so heavy. You know, they think like she said, you know, if it's not hurting you, if your man got another woman and the bills are being paid, you're still comfortable. A woman will actually disrupt her life, leave the home, take the kids, go off and eat something. And she run to her daddy, the devil, and he will finance her through school, welfare, and all of that, and she'll go make it. Now the kids messed up. You know, the kids. You know, well, they ain't gonna be messed up, but they gonna actually think that's cool. Oh, my mother left my daddy and went off and did this and that, and she did, and guess what? That's telling the daughter she can do the same thing, and it's a perpetual cycle. It's ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. You know, so that's why but like I said, man, you know, we're in a time now, man. You know, this thing about the crack, man. But this was just a good topic to hit on. Like I say, even though the Apostles video was 2 weeks old, you know, I just ran across it and I had just seen this video, so I just thought I'd put the two together. But with that, I hope the sheep were edified, and I pray that this word go out and touch somebody can use it for their furthering their spirit, And I give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, double honors to the elder apostle GMS, and peace and blessing to you, Akim, that's out there preaching this truth, man, that hopefully elect, and you Aquath that's being blessed, whatever Yahushua may find your hands to do. Shalom.